Guess that's it. Well, hey guys, it's Dr. Drake 63 here again today, and just briefly, just want to talk to you about holsters I have known, the good, the bad, and the ugly. I'm not going to do a detailed overview of everything, but I just want to kind of give you an overview of different stuff that I've got in my junk drawer, different stuff that I've used, and different stuff that I like. Um, Over time, I've become quite the connoisseur of the leather holster, and when you couple it with the revolver, it becomes a very sexy thing in my opinion, and very functional. I think leather is an underrated material. It's not the best for everything, but it seems to go well with handguns, in my opinion. Anyway, just going to take a brief overview of some different types of holsters, different stuff I've used, and would certainly love to hear your comments. What's your favorite holster? What works best? What absolutely does not work the best? You know, in today's day and age, everything's about bigger, better calibers, holding more bullets, all these things, carrying multiple speed loaders, carrying multiple magazines, and all that kind of stuff. And um, you know, when you talk about holsters, I mean, maybe the most functional one that I have right now goes right in here, and that's just something that can hold a firearm that I'm liable to carry with me everywhere I go, something like that. Uh, Probably not going to use the 7.5-inch Super Blackhawk for carry. So just want to kind of show you the small, the big, the in-between, the stuff I like, the stuff that I had no use for, and I hope you'll enjoy watching today. This is Dr. Drake 63. My holster collection looks like a who's who or a best of when you really get down to it. Now, here starting out with the pretty nice cowboy belt. This is one that I actually picked up from a place called Historical Emporium. And this has both a right-handed draw and a cross draw. It's on a belt, holds the ammo, all that good stuff. But that's about as old school as you can get with a holster. But kind of moving along and looking at this land of holsters here. Here you see a pocket draw holster, and I just picked this up for this recently acquired Smith & W 637. Also, for that same firearm, I picked up in the waistband holster. Okay, if you get a J frame, there is an unlimited amount of options for you on holsters. I will say that. What I found with this particular firearm right here, though, is that pocket's really the best place to put this thing, just size-wise for me, as opposed to in the waistband. I can put this in my pocket, and I can forget that I have it. Here is a tried and true in the waistband Kydex holster. This is made by Galco, and I use this for my Glocks. It's very nice. It's adjustable. Basically, you can adjust right above where the trigger guard is, how tight it's going to be, and this is a very, very positive lockup kind of situation. It's comfortable, and but you know you're carrying it. I mean, it's now you're getting into a much heavier and a much larger firearm than, say, something like this. Here's some stuff I used in the past. I think I used this for a Taurus revolver I had. Out of the waistband, clips on the belt. Don't want to put any company down or anything like that, but I really don't have a lot of use for that type of holster. Same thing with this. This was for a snub nose I had. I think it might have been an EAA Windicator. Not 100% sure, but this didn't meet my needs. Used this for one of the older large frame metal Smith & Wesson 9mm I had. I think it was 53 something or other. This also worked with a 1911 pretty decently. And this is worn on the outside of your waistband. Okay, but I don't use it anymore. This is a nice inside the pocket or anywhere you want to put it, and it works really well with this Glock right here. It fits a Glock 19 very well, as you can see right here. And I like this because it doesn't go anywhere. So whether it's in your pocket, wherever it might be, it stays put. I've also fooled around with some of these carrying case type of scenarios. This one was for a revolver. Didn't use it much. Nice concept for just carrying something around, but it ended up not being practical. I am a fan of the leather holsters. I just got this one last week to go on this Smith & Wesson 586. Like it quite a bit. This is a triple K model. As you can see, you slide this on your belt outside the waistband. And here's a nice Galco for the 7.5-inch Ruger Super Blackhawk. And same thing, it rides on the belt. You could also put this on a chest kind of cross draw holster as well. Really nice, easy to get at this right here as far as popping it open. So very nice design there. Okay, so this is kind of this big mess of holsters I have here, and some of them I use and some of them I don't. And I think for most of us, it all kind of comes down to whether or not we find something has practical application or not. And as much as I like to read about stuff on the internet, and as much as I like to try to figure out what the best thing is to purchase before I purchase it, something like a holster's kind of like a pair of shoes or a pair of pants. You really need to try it on and try it out before you determine if you like it. And whereas something like this with a 6-shooter, 5.5-inch 6-shooter, kind of is gonna kind of be dictated by the use. Here I've been getting into cowboy shooting, so something like this makes a lot of sense. I would never want to carry a firearm like this in the waistband or anything. So as far as those kind of external type of holsters go, for that particular purpose, that's nice. The modern day version of that obviously being something like this. Okay, but you just have to try stuff until you find what you like. And for all the different pistols I've owned over time, this by no means represents the totality of holsters. I've got a box with just a bunch of stuff like this in them. You might too. And again, you don't know until you try something out. And again, I wouldn't have known just how functional and how much I like this holster if I didn't buy it. And this thing looks brand new. I've carried this thing in the waistband probably coming up on a year now, and sweated on it and everything else. It looks brand new and it functions brand new, and it works really super well. Like I said, I've got a couple different Glock 19s I rotate, so that makes a lot of sense. This has been super useful for me. Like I said, here's two different solutions for the same firearm, but because I'm finding that this more than anything fits in the pocket, this is maybe overkill. However, if I do want to carry this in the waistband, this is very comfortable. I like the way it fits and all that kind of good stuff. But you know, I went out and spent some decent money on this, so it's sometimes good to try the cheaper solution first. But I'll be hanging on to that because I'm going to hang on to that gun. But yeah, so that's just kind of a rundown of different stuff. And again, you may have some favorites of yours. You may have the proverbial junk drawer for holsters and accessories for your pistols. But this is just a look into a part of mine. By the way, is it just me, or is leather sexy? Especially with a firearm with a wood grip. Is it just me, guys, or do other people find that? I don't know, but I sure do love leather. There's no question about it. I love the smell of it. I love going into a saddle shop, a tack shop, or just any place that sells leather because I love the smell. Go shopping for a new pair of cowboy boots or whatever. It's just so dang sexy to me, and functional and comfortable. So yeah, something like this, super functional. There's no question about it. I'm not gonna tell you I think any of these are the ultimate carry piece compared to what's offered in today's modern assortment of materials, sizes, shapes, designs, and so forth. But you know what? These are all awesome guns in their own right, and they do the trick. And just really wouldn't think of putting the Smith & Wesson in something that's Galco, for example. Couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. As always, I want to thank you for watching. This is Dr. Drake 63 reminding you, support the National Rifle Association.